When you see shadows, orbs, or sparkles out of the corner of your eye, are your eyes just playing tricks on you? Well, no. Not at all. Today, I'm going to share with you what the heck you're most likely experiencing when you see these things and what the heck to do about it. If you've seen weird things, saw weird things as a child, or have had any paranormal experiences, subscribe to my channel, Lightworker, and don't forget to hit that little tiny bell to be notified each week when I post a new video. Alright, so what's going on? You are experiencing one of your intuitive or psychic senses, clairvoyance. When you see sparkles of light or shadows or orbs, you are having your third eye turned on and tuned in. There is so much more to the world and your human experience than what's in this physical reality. Okay, science is discovering that empty space is not empty at all. It's actually filled with energy that connects literally everything. So amazing. So we are living in this energy soup, if you will, and within that energy are different dimensions of consciousness and existence. Your clairvoyance, your inner sight, your third eye, whatever you want to call it, your imagination, your clairvoyance enables you to see either within your mind's eye, inside your head, or with your physical eyes, see into those dimensions and the beings or consciousnesses that exist within them. Before I tell you what these things, what these beings are, and what to do about them, I want to hear about your experience. What have you seen? What have you felt? Pause the video and share one thing in the comments below. What are sparkles? So sparkles are the beginnings of your clairvoyant ability trying to emerge. All right, there are many different things that sparkles could represent, but when you're starting out and you're just seeing sparkles of light in the corner of your eye, it's probably your clairvoyance just starting to emerge or just starting to illustrate to you that it can be accessed, that you can use it, which is really, really exciting. And it's so, so important at this stage, if you're seeing the beginnings of sparkles, to say, this must be more than just my eyes playing tricks on me. I wonder what this is. You don't have to go any further than that or get all up in your head or like wondering exactly what it is, but just validate it. Just say, yeah, there's something going on here beyond just my physical experience. I'm starting to see something, and I might be a little excited and I might be a little scared, but I'm going to allow these abilities to continue to develop. Also, I experience sparkles as elemental beings. So as I mentioned, we live in this energetic soup, and while we most likely, most of the time, are inside of buildings or structures like houses or offices or RVs, vans, cars, all sorts of different structures that we as humans keep ourselves inside of, we are actually living on a living, breathing planet. Okay, and we are surrounded by nature, and that nature is filled with consciousness, energetic beings that are elemental in nature. There are beings and different consciousnesses that you can communicate with that are in nature. Sierra, does that mean that I should start talking to trees? Yes. Absolutely. If you don't already talk to trees, they're going to start talking to you. That's all I'm going to say. And you'll see the consciousness of these trees or whatever elemental being you're coming in contact with as sparkles, most likely. And then you have orbs. All right. So in my experience, orbs can be many different things. They can be spirit guides. Okay. So the sparkles are sort of all around you in the energetic soup. It's sort of ephemeral, if you will, but an orb is like a boop. This is a being. This is a consciousness of an individual being. Okay. And so this could be your spirit guide, which you have many. Okay, so when they get close to you, when you're starting to sense them and see them, you might see them as an orb. You could see them in many different colors. I see white orbs, white light orbs, yellow, orange, red, green. Most often I see blue, which is one of my Syrian spirit guides. And your spirit guides are actually other incarnations of yours, which is why they are so invested in your growth, in your evolution. Now, you could also have a spirit guide that is an ancestor or a passed over loved one, but most of the time, your actual spirit guides are other incarnations of you, your oversoul. Another thing that orbs could be an angelic consciousness. It could be a consciousness that has ascended into the angelic realms, right? So this could be an Archangel Michael. This could be one of your guardian angels. This could be an angel of compassion. So angelic consciousness is another expression of an orb. Also, yes, orbs could be ghosts. Now, orbs that are ghosts, typically I experience them as only white light, and they tend to be, I would say, a little bit more faint of a light in my third eye, in my awareness, whereas a spirit guide or an angelic consciousness seems a little more sparkly, if you will, a little brighter. The ghost type of orbs, when I perceive them, are more dim in light. They're actually closer to you dimensionally, but when it comes to the amount of light that they are holding within their vessel, within their frequency, a ghost would have less of that than an angel or a spirit guide. Now we move on to shadow people. All right, and this can be a little bit scary to experience. I know that I've definitely been freaked out by some shadow beings when I wake up in the middle of the night. I see one in the corner of the room and I'm like, hey, these are not my office hours. Like, come back during daylight. What's your deal? So if you see a shadow being, it could be a ghost. It could be, someone who has not passed over into the spirit world, someone perhaps who is holding on to a lot of fear energy or dark energy, if you will. It could be someone like that. Or it could be simply a shadow aspect of your subconscious, or yourself, or other people's shadow aspects. I had an experience like this once. I saw a shadow being in the corner of the room in the middle of the night. I was kind of scared, but I chose to be brave, and I chose to lean into it a little bit more and ask it, what do you have to share with me? What do you want to tell me? And it was like this terrifying shadow figure. But the more loving energy that I sent it, the shadow surrounding the being started to melt away, and it revealed my inner child at around 3 or 4 years old. And I was really, really interested by that. I was really kind of shocked, actually. I've learned that shadow beings can actually just be shadowy aspects within ourselves that are trying to step forward and make themselves known. Okay, so that's really interesting. Another thing that shadow beings could be interdimensional beings. Yes, I am talking about extraterrestrials or aliens. I don't really like to call them aliens, but interdimensional beings. When we encounter a being that is of a much higher frequency than we are, and it's not someone familiar like a spirit guide or a passed over loved one, we could experience some fear, some nervous system issues when we encounter that being. So that could cause us to perceive that being as a shadow being because we are experiencing and feeling fear about that being, and not necessarily the shadowness of them. It doesn't necessarily indicate the energetic state of the being themselves. Okay, so shadow beings could be ghosts. They could be shadow aspects of you, your subconscious, or someone else's shadow aspect, or they could be interdimensional beings. If you're seeing sparkles, you're seeing orbs, you're seeing shadow people, what do? There's a few things you can do. You can communicate with it. You can talk to it. You can see what it has to say, see what messages it has for you. You can do some automatic writing while connecting with it. You can go into meditation and receive and communicate with it. That's one of the things you can do. Number 2, you can set boundaries. Okay, you are not a victim of the metaphysical realm. You can say, these are not my office hours. You can say, come back at another time. This is not a good time for me. You can say, I am not open to this type of communication, period. With certain types of beings. You can set those kinds of boundaries and continually set them just like you do and should be with the living people or the physical people in your life. A third thing you can do is you can perform clearing and healing rituals. You can clear your house with sage. You can do a meditation. You can create crystal grids. All of these things are effective. You can call in your angels, call in your guides. All of these things are effective at either communicating with or removing such entities and consciousnesses from your reality. I once had a dear friend and community member say to me, I don't know what's happening. Like, I move from house to house and, just every house I move into, there's spirits and I have to do this and this is going on. And I was like, girl, it is not the houses. It is you. The metaphysical realm has some kind of innate sense somehow that they can be seen and heard and felt by certain people, that certain people are more open than others. So they naturally gravitate towards those people. And so you can set boundaries, you can cleanse and heal, or you can communicate with them. First and foremost, do your own shadow work. Your experience is directly related to your vibration, your perception, and everything that happens in your life, in your reality, is directly related to your vibration, how much shadow work you're doing, how self-aware and conscious you are of your inner experience. If you have any other questions about this or you want me to elaborate on any of these points, let me know in the comments below. If you're having these types of experiences, it's time, my friend, for your starseed awakening. If you'd like to know your starseed type, take my free quiz linked in the description below. If you want to free yourself from the spiritual protection trap, click here. And if you want to remember who you are, click here. Thanks so much for watching. I love you today and every day, and I'll talk to you soon.